Hello, and welcome to United Together, a celebration of gratitude. My name is Gary Engelstad, a part of the United Methodist Communities Foundation team. Thank you for tuning in. To say the last year and a half has been challenging would be an incredible understatement. But even in these most perplexing times, loving and caring moments came through. During our show, we will have the unique opportunity to hear feedback from residents, associates, family members from our 9 communities, as well as our HomeWorks home care division. These are voices that have been silenced for too long. They've been behind masks, behind PPE, and behind closed doors. They need to be heard. This is indeed a celebration of gratitude. Those of us in the foundation, staff, board members, we cannot thank our donors enough. You have come through for us, especially residents and family members. What we have had to do with your dollars in the last 18 months is to help associates, to help residents, to do special touches that certainly were not in our plan, but they made a huge difference for everyone involved. We're especially grateful for our many business partners who have come through once again and have included us in their philanthropic plans. Through the course of this show, you're going to hear about all of our special business donors, but we're going to highlight a few, and we hope you enjoy hearing from them and learning from them. We're especially grateful for your prayers. We've felt them, we've heard them loud and clear. They were said for our residents, for our associates. They were clearly heard. And it's in that spirit that I welcome Pastor Marcia Stanford, the Director of Mission and Pastoral Care from our Shores community, to lead us in prayer.
May we all bow our heads in prayer, although virtually, but yet community. Oh, Heavenly Father, in Psalms 100, verses 4 and 5, your words tell us these things, that we are to enter your gates with thanksgiving and your courts with praise, to give thanks to you and bless your name. For Lord, you are good, and your steadfast love endures forever. And you are faithful, and you are faithful to all generations. So we come tonight, united together for a celebration of gratitude. Oh, Heavenly Father, tonight we come to you with a humble and a grateful heart. We enter your gates and with sincere thanksgiving. And we understand that your steadfast love and goodness continues. Lord, as you have carried us through a tumultuous season, and we have now come to say thank you for your grace and your mercy. Thank you for the complexity of life in which you reveal the simplicity of your love. Not earned, not deserved, but simply unconditionally given. We are grateful for the everyday salary called life, with benefits that are given and not earned, called blessings, and a retirement plan called the gift of eternal life. We continue to appreciate these blessings in our lives, and may we feel full, whole, and ready most of all to give to those who have little. For we know you have 3 dwellings, one in heaven, another in every trial we go through, and always in a meek and thankful heart. As we express our gratitude tonight, Lord, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not just the words we speak, but to live by the words we speak. Oh, Father, we thank you in the name of Jesus Christ, our Lord. Amen and amen.
Thank you, Pastor Marcia, for those incredible words of prayer. You know, Nelson Mandela once said, it's better to lead from behind and to put others in front, especially when you celebrate victory and good things occur. You take the front line when there is danger. Then people will appreciate your leadership. Our president and CEO has had one single focus: the safety and well-being of our residents and our associates. His leadership has resulted in the best possible outcomes for our communities, and for that reason, it is my honor and pleasure to introduce our president and CEO, Larry Carlson.
Hello, I'm Larry Carlson, President and CEO of United Methodist Communities. And thank you for joining our special video presentation, United Together, a celebration of gratitude. The last year and a half has been filled with indescribable challenges for our residents and associates, but we have much to be grateful for. With the help of safe and effective vaccines and United for Safety's careful infection control procedures, our residents have been able to return to group activities, communal dining, and spiritual life services. Visitors and volunteers are able to safely visit and interact with friends and loved ones. Residents and associates alike have adopted new technology that has changed and in some cases improved the way we live, work, and communicate. In the face of adversity, we've strengthened our bonds of community and shown that we are truly stronger together. Our UMC Foundation donors, local community members, and business partners have rallied around us, and their generosity ensures that UMC's commitment to the abundant life will never waver. I'd like to take a moment to recognize 4 of our top contributing business partners: Sweetwater Construction Corporation and the Witt family, Hawks & Company led by Marty Rossica, the team at Lockton, and our partners at Sodexo. Time and time again, this group proves that our relationships go far beyond business and vendor. These groups share our vision, our values, and are true partners in our mission of providing abundant life to seniors. We've put together a great collection of interviews and reflections of associates, residents, volunteers, and family members from all across the UMC system. As you watch this presentation and learn about all of the ways they have interacted with UMC's mission, please know that I am so proud of all we have achieved together and am deeply grateful for each and every person who makes up our UMC family. Thank you.
And now the chairman of the United Methodist Communities Foundation Board of Trustees, a true servant leader, Dr. Grant Karsner.
Thanks, Gary, and thanks for the opportunity to address you today. I was drawn to United Methodist Communities about 4 years ago, soon after I retired actually, and with a mission statement of compassionately serving others and allowing them to have abundant life. It doesn't get any better than that. So this is a message about gratitude and thanking the many, many people that have been with us during the challenge of the last 18 months. I think each of us can reflect on our lives and the challenges that we've had. My work life had 4 hurricanes in it, and it had a nuclear release, and it had a pandemic, and many, many challenges like that. So is there a blessing in it? And the answer is absolutely yes. The blessing is how everyone stands up to help. So if I think about the individuals, those that sewed masks, the groups that came in and helped, food, PPE, the various businesses that work with us that were so incredibly generous. It's a really humbling experience to see that. You know, as we go forward here, we're going to continue to be challenged, and we're going to continue to need your help to make this all stay together. So the number of things that we've done, the foundation was able to help monetarily with respect to some much needed dollars for some of the associates. The kindness of the families of the residents here and helping to provide us with funding. It kind of all comes together. I'd ask you to consider as I close that when we're put here on earth, we're given certain gifts, and it's a question of how we use them. And the good Lord has given each of us gifts, whether they be financial or spiritual or capability that allow us to give back. And the last 18 months with United Methodist Communities has been a completely shining example of why we should all be so grateful that we're a big family together with common needs and common goals. So with that, thank you very much. This is a time of high gratitude within United Methodist Communities.
Here's our Vice President for Philanthropy, my boss, Linda Hill.
Thanks, Gary. Hello, I'm Linda Hill, Vice President of Philanthropy for United Methodist Communities. UMC has certainly had its fill of challenges, frustrations, and sadness over the last year and a half. But each of you remind me that our communities also experienced so much fellowship, generosity, and love. As I watch these heartwarming clips from members of our UMC family and reflect on how each person interacts with our mission, I am so impressed by and so filled with gratitude for the community that surrounds us. I joined the UMC team at the height of the pandemic, and I was immediately struck by the generosity, creativity, and compassion of our associates, volunteers, and UMC Foundation donors. You have all shown us what it means to be UMC strong, and because of you, our century-old mission of compassionately caring for New Jersey seniors has not wavered. The Foundation is blessed by your partnership and support. As we look forward to brighter days ahead, I am committed to strengthening our relationships and continuing this important work of creating abundant life for all of the residents, clients, and families we serve. I hope you will join me. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of the show.
We're going to be taking the time tonight during our show to thank our many generous donors. If you would like to donate during this presentation, you can do it simply by calling the number at the bottom of your screen, 732-731-2121, or you can go to the United Methodist Communities Foundation website at any time and make a donation. We'd love to include your name in our shout outs during the show. You know, United Methodist Communities is comprised of 4 full-service communities, 5 affordable senior housing communities, and our HomeWorks home care agency. They are all blessed with executive directors and housing administrators who have been true inspirational leaders during some very challenging times. Let's take a few minutes to meet them.
Hi, my name is India Santos. I'm the housing administrator. Welcome to United Methodist Communities at Covenant Place.
Hi, I'm Jim Clancy, Executive Director, and welcome to United Methodist Communities at Collingswood.
Hello, I am Gertrude Kelly, the Housing Administrator. Welcome to the United Methodist Community at the Wesleyan.
Hello, I'm Michelle Matthews, Executive Director. Welcome to United Methodist Communities at Pittman.
Hi, I am Tanya Preston, Housing Administrator. Welcome to United Methodist Communities at Bishop Taylor.
My name is Jim Zatter. I'm the Executive Director at United Methodist Communities at the Shores, and welcome.
Hi, my name is Dominique Phillips. I'm the Housing Administrator at United Methodist Communities of Pine Ridge and Montclair, and I would like to welcome you.
Hello everyone, I'm Jeff Lisk. I'm the Executive Director here at United Methodist Communities at Bristol Glen. Welcome.
Hi, I'm Kathy Spear, and welcome to United Methodist Communities at Wesley by the Bay.
Hi, my name is Tara Tilden. Welcome to United Methodist Communities HomeWorks.
There was no greater segment of the American population at greater risk during this pandemic than older Americans. For that reason, retirement and senior housing communities were forced to take every possible precaution to ensure the safety of their residents. These precautions at United Methodist Communities included restricting residents to their apartments, having all meals delivered, no public gatherings, mandated mask wearings, and the most heart-wrenching, no family visitors. As these restrictions have been slowly lifted over the last few months, we've had a unique opportunity to catch up with some of our residents and ask them very simple questions. What was it like? What did they miss the most? How was the staff? And what things in life are they grateful for? Join me in listening to our amazing residents.
Well, It's been very interesting, to say the least, you know.
It's been a little rough.
The last couple of years, like you say, it's been rough because, you know, of COVID. It wasn't easy. I lost my mom due to COVID. And I wasn't able to go to her funeral because she lives in Florida. But with God's grace, I made it through it all. And, you know, just having him in the midst of everything just kept me going.
Well, admittedly, it's been very, very difficult for both of us, staff and for individuals.
Parts of it has been real rough, frightening, and other parts have been okay.
Well, it's been a difficult year for everybody, absolutely no question about that. Tough on the residents, tough on the staff, tough on our families, but they have hung in there. It's amazing.
I think they've handled things very well. It's been a change in life, and we have to adapt to it. But I feel so well taken care of. I really do.
I really don't have that much time to tell you, but no, actually, what it was, not being able to have your family or visitors come into your apartment. And like I always did, every weekend had relatives come in and we've spent the evening. We couldn't do that. Right. So, you know, a lot of times we hung out the window and handed our laptops so they could fix them for us. But it worked out, you know, we did okay.
Going to the theater, going to the cinema. Takeout Tuesdays had continued all throughout that period. And we used to all sit together in the community room and had that community. So I missed that.
Getting out of the building. It was 15 months that I was not out of the building, and much of that time not out of my apartment.
My children, first of all, then going to the house of worship because I love God and I wanted to be there, but we couldn't because of the pandemic. So we went, the church that I belonged to, they went virtual, so I could watch it on Facebook, which was really a blessing. So the most thing that I missed was being with my friends, you know, being able to just go out and visit. But that wasn't okay at the time.
My family, definitely. I don't drive, so it's not like I could go over there and then they couldn't come and see me. So I think the hardest thing to get used to was not being with my family as I normally was.
I missed my family and friends visiting. That was the hardest part.
Seeing other people, talking to other people. We couldn't even go out of our rooms for a while. I hated it because you couldn't talk to anybody.
People, but I got phone calls, people. They were afraid to come here and I was afraid to go out. So I would say I was pretty lonely.
We started getting food. I think it was once a week. We got food at our door. They would knock on the door and say, "Room service." And there would be a bag outside of our door. We had to stay in. They were here all the time. I have friends that live in other senior buildings, and they said the staff just left. And they would call them every day, but staff here at Pine Ridge, they were here every day. Anything that you needed, just call them. You know, they were just accessible, which was they were very, very good.
Well, always taking care of us, I guess. You never got scared. I can call Kathy, I can call Colleen.
They have been excellent. They have done everything they could to make it as best they could, and they did. It was really, I'm independent living, and I can't say enough about them. Really, that's the truth.
I would say they did a tremendous, there's no words can describe what they did for us. They made sure we had what we needed. They took care of us. They looked out for us. They did an awesome job. They did a very, very good job. And I wouldn't trade that for nothing. They show us love, love, love. It was there. And it was genuine love.
We understand each other, and we try to make the best of it. And I think they've done a really good job working with us. And of course, sometimes we get grumpy when we have to, only two in an elevator or whatever. But, it's that's why we're still so healthy and have had no problems, really, when you look at some of these other retirement places. My God, we've been in a great situation compared to them.
The first I remember seeing everybody was when I got off the elevator for our COVID shots for the vaccine, which was the end of January. And it was amazing, honestly. They had one employee was at every single station where we were to congregate, 6 at a time, socially distanced. As each one of us got up to go to the next section, the staff member who was standing at that station would clean up all. I'm moved by it because it was such a collective effort to keep us from harm. None of us had the vaccine yet, and still had to wait 2 weeks for the second one, and then 6 weeks after that. So it was amazing. Of course, when we were waiting the 10 to 15 minutes to see if we had any ill effects, then we got to see other people that we hadn't seen in 6 months. So it was great.
They're like my grandchildren because I have grandchildren that are older than they are. Yes, and they're very good. They're very supportive. They're always here. From just being able to be accessible by phone if I have a question, to the maintenance of, certain things within the apartment. If there's something needs to be fixed, your response is like almost immediately. I have no complaints about them.
They take excellent care. They really, really do. And I mean that sincerely. That's why I chose Bristol Glen. I could have gone anywhere, but I chose this.
Well, everybody loves Millie here. She's somehow or other, I won an award of being Millie's friend here. And we look forward to her. I will probably go for a walk this afternoon around the property, and Millie takes us all around. She's with us, and we enjoy her. And I hope to stay around and her stay along a long time too.
Yes. I'm grateful that I'm still alive. I'm grateful that I know God and Jesus. I'm grateful because I know if it wasn't for God, I wouldn't be here. I thank Him every morning when He wakes me up. And I'm grateful that I have people in this building that I can communicate with, and there's a lot of camaraderie here in the building.
I'm just grateful for everything. I mean, this place here has been wonderful. I've been 2.5 years, and I couldn't have had a better life anywhere. And my children come and visit us. The people here take care of us. We don't have to worry. We don't have to work when we really work. And I couldn't be happier. Before I came here, you have your doubt, not your doubts, but your worries, and they're all been eased. And now that this is being over, it's really getting to be good again. I couldn't be happier.
That's another thing I thank God for every day, that I'm in this kind of a place where they will take care of me.
For kindness, for what other people have done for me here. I just feel surrounded by kindness. I think people really care.
Oh, well, many things that I'm still vertical. Can't complain about that. But there are many things. I've been around for 93 years now, and we've had good years and bad years, but on the whole, I can't complain. I lived in Oklahoma for 50 years in the oil industry, and that was interesting. And I've moved back here, and I was born in Jersey. So I'm pleased to be back and healthy and within an organization that cares for my health.
I have to say, for the Wesleyan community, where literally for the first time in my life I feel safe. So, sorry, I don't mean to be a boo-hooer, but honestly, I'm moved by them.
Well, my mother lived to 97, okay? I think that you have to be thankful for what you have and have a smile on your face. It's not always easy, but it works.
I've just got good genes. My parents lived into their mid-90s, and so I guess we're just hanging in there and doing what we can to keep healthy, and Bristol Glen has a lot to do with it.
I'm just thankful to be here. I was hoping with COVID going away, we could start doing our different activities, which we started, but now I'm seeing it slowly going away again, but we'll come back as one, hopefully, in the next couple of weeks, months, whatever it takes. And we're gonna fight it just like we did before. We fought it then, and we'll fight it again this time. And with God's grace, we will make it. We will win. And that's my all around, yes.
Faith and a sense of humor will take you where you need to go.
And now you have a better idea of why all of us love to go to work every morning to serve these incredible people. As we mentioned earlier, the United Methodist Communities Foundation is blessed with business partners that feel strongly and support our mission of providing abundant life to seniors. We are highlighting two partners this evening, with the first being our friends at Sweetwater Construction. Sweetwater and UMC have partnered for over 20 projects over the years. Here's a little more about our friends, the premier sponsor, Sweetwater Construction.
I'm Nancy Witt. I'm one of the owners of Sweetwater Construction Corporation, and we have been working with United Methodist Communities with Larry Carlson and your wonderful staff probably for 7-8 years now. I have a long history with senior care. I have a master's degree in nursing from 1985. That's more than a few years ago, and my master's degree is in gerontology. When I joined my husband in business, in the construction business in the late 80s, one of the things I looked out for were opportunities to pursue senior care. It took a few years, but I finally connected with UMC.
Hi, I'm Bob, and I've been working with Sweetwater for 20 years now. And one of the biggest things that I think is a blessing is being able to work with the United Methodist team. The thing about that is that we're able to directly affect people's lives. So in construction, we don't get a big chance to be able to do that because we are working in a large corporate environment. But here we're able to touch people and where they actually live. And maybe it's better for us to take a step back and understand what the resident needs are and what their priorities would be. So we've been able to do things such as build safe corridors through construction zones so that we can do our work but still accommodate someone who maybe forgot their comb in their apartment and they want to go back and just get something, right? So those kinds of things, the learning curve to do that has been very educational for us because we aren't doing a construction job, we're doing a construction job in someone's home. It's so gratifying to be able to hear things that, like the residents have taken to our people, and just as our people have taken to the residents. It's a partnership that we try to foster here at Sweetwater, and it enhances everyone's experience, including our own. Because the last thing we want to do is to be able to do a construction project and not walk away with a long-lasting relationship. And we did have a situation at our first project for the Shores, and there was a young lady who came to the job site, and she was very curious, and she would peek in and she'd look and, that kind of thing. We actually got her a Sweetwater hard hat at one point, and, she was one of the gang, and every day she'd have that Sweetwater hard hat on. And there's a couple of pictures that we have of her coming to the job site and checking out what we were doing. And it was part of the process and part of the atmosphere. It really was, it's nice, it's gratifying.
I look to acknowledge people that I think that are, number one, important in my value systems, and number two, that I think do an excellent job. It goes back to my nursing education. I was first a nurse in 1975. I got my master's 10 years later, and it's always been a part of who I am and what I do. I see the faces, I know what makes a difference, and it's especially rewarding.
Thank you again to the Witt family and to all of our friends at Sweetwater Construction. The work lives of our associates took a dramatic turn in the early spring of 2020. There was fear literally in the air as they were dealing with something entirely unknown. Their compassion and concern for their residents was only outweighed by their compassion and care for their own families and their fellow workers. But when faced with these challenges, our associates came together even stronger. Their job descriptions in many cases were totally irrelevant. They were out the window. They did whatever was necessary. And when they could, they hugged each other, they cried, they laughed, and it appears they really enjoyed all the donated pizzas, the hoagies, and the baked goods. They are the true heroes of our success over these past 18 months. Here are their stories. Let's listen in.
It's been rough. We've lost residents, but we've pulled together as a family. So we're making it through, and we have made it through pretty much the hardest times.
It's been challenging, tough, but we got through it. It was, I don't know how else to put it. It was totally different. Never experienced anything like this before.
It's been very difficult and uncertain for everyone, especially the residents.
The last 16 months have been very, very challenging. And, when we talk about it, sometimes we really remember some of the very difficult times. We did lose a handful of beloved residents, and some of the staff really had a hard time with it.
In the beginning it was very hard, it was like a major adjustment for everyone, and then we were losing people, and so it could have been like really sad for a lot of people.
Been trying, but rewarding, helping the residents through the year and a half. They had it worse than we did. In my heart?
Well, I totally was exhausted, so I did a lot of sleeping, reading, walking, exercise, things like that, watching Netflix. But yes, it was hard. It was hard on my husband too, and everybody. So pretty much we were exhausted and slept a lot.
We were very fortunate to have a social worker up in our healthcare. It's very important to talk about mental health, and she's been very instrumental in getting people to talk about it and giving people, the resources that are out there.
When a crisis happens, we all pull together, we work harder, we're very cohesive.
Well, I think as a community,
we band together when there's some kind of issues or something that we have to deal with. And I think this past year it has shown that we have grown together as a family.
I think the one thing that has drawn us all together is the camaraderie of the staff and the support of our ancillary personnel, our main office. They've always been supportive, they've always been in touch, lending a hand whenever we need it. And I think that really gives us the strength to move on every day and do what we do.
I think just being together and knowing we're going through it together, not just here inside, but outside.
We've all formed a great bond. We're just so supportive of one another. Every day brings on a new challenge or a different challenge, and we just conquer every day accordingly. And they're all there for me as I am for them.
Everybody was jumping in as they need to be. You know, I felt bad for some of like the hands-on caregivers because they were just consistently, you know, all in their PPE and you know, when they would take a break, they would be sweating, and you know, it was very crazy. But we, you know, would make jokes. We were grateful for the donations of hoagie trays. That never got old, apparently. But we, you know, we you know, still are tight. I mean, and there's, you know, times that even now, because it's still with us, we're still day to day waiting to hear what we have to do next. And that can be very frustrating. And, you know, we're getting back into it now, and we're just trying to, you know, keep our smiles on our faces, but it's not always easy. Yeah.
Lots of support. So we had to really support our caregivers during that time, because but working in home care, it's a little different than working in the community. They don't have as much support as they would if they worked in the community, with management being there, others being there to assist them. So we really had to focus on making sure that our caregivers were okay, so we're constantly in contact with them every day.
Just pulling together as family and taking care of each other. Taking care of the residents, whether it's they need us to go to the store to get groceries or need help, you know, virtually setting up telehealth, just pulling together as a family, you know, bringing the residents in as a part of our family.
You know, just staying in contact, everybody looking out for one another was a big thing, you know, checking on each other.
Well, a lot of telephone contact, because that was the safest way. Speaking from a nurse's perspective, you know, sometimes just hearing someone's voice on the other end of the line, it really brightens someone's day. It might have been the only phone call that they got that day, or that week even, for that matter. So those are the kinds of things that got us through with the residents.
I had to call most of them every day, you know, just a little check-in. We were doing activities door to door. We were getting deliveries of like food and stuff, even though we couldn't like really see them and have like a full-blown conversation. It was just like a knock, and they'll come to the door and we'll like peek down the hallway like, hey, how you doing? Just leaving that there for you. It was, yeah.
It wasn't easy because we couldn't have them in the community rooms. That was locked down. So Alicia, our social services coordinator, she would take them for walks, but you know, everybody had to stay social distance. It wasn't easy. Just giving out puzzles and stuff that they can do, things they could do alone. And we would just deliver food. A lot of them couldn't go to the store. You know, running errands for people, doing things you wouldn't ordinarily do.
Well, I've been here 18 years, so this is my second family. I treat them the way that I want my family to be treated, and I have a close relationship with my residents. They always ask how I'm doing, how's my family doing. My daughter recently got married, they wanted to see pictures. They ask me all the time, because I'm a gardener, you know, how's my garden? I bring them tomatoes, I bring them fresh cut flowers. They are my second family.
Oh, like I said, they're my family. They're my extended aunts and extended uncles. They're wise beyond measure, and you know, other than professionally, they've become part of my family.
Well, I do hear that they love me a lot, so I'm really close with them. I love residents. I feel like I like to talk with one-on-one with them to see what they like, and I like to bring whatever it is to them that they need. The way that I see it, I treat them as if they were my family member, and how I would want my family member, if they were living here, to be treated.
I love them, and I'm hoping the feeling is mutual too. So yeah, I admire their wisdom, their strength, patience, and their sense of humor throughout this whole ordeal. I mean, they're amazing.
You care for them, and you're not just working here, you're actually, like you said, you become part of the family, really. And it's like a spirit of the community. You know, everybody I think they all like it. Knowing you're not in it alone was a big plus for everybody.
I love them all. Doesn't matter where they are, whether they're in assisted living or in healthcare. I'm in healthcare right now, but during the main pandemic, I was over here in assisted living. But just doesn't matter where I am. I just love them all and love to make them smile, like I said before.
Was working with a son, and he just said, you know, we were bringing his mom in the following Monday for long-term care, and he was just so happy that we could have a bed for her, and he's just like, I want you to know as you go into your weekend that you've made many people very happy in my family. I was like, oh, thank you.
I was watching them the other day. We were helping them with lunch, and I see this couple that they were praying. And I went to them and I told them, we do that in my family as well. So it brings me joy to see that.
I think they love me. It seems like a good relationship, you know. Well, they do tell me that they love me, but they trust me. I feel like I'm probably somebody who they can depend on, depending on the situation. They call me, you know, little things, big things. What am I supposed to do with this? What am I supposed to do with that? But yeah, I think it's a good relationship overall.
I'm grateful for my team, because I think that your team is like 90% of, you know, how you enjoy being at work. And if you enjoy being at work, some of the time you're gonna deliver well, and that shows, you know, to everybody, you know.
Definitely my family, because well, you appreciate everything more now, because everything that we've been through. And work life, I feel like it's made like me and my coworkers closer. We lean on each other. I feel like the relationships have gotten stronger, and my housing administrator, India, she's amazing. So, yeah.
I have to say I'm grateful for the team that I work with. The other aides, the housekeepers, the maintenance, the dietary. Again, we worked so well together, and we all know everybody's stressed out, and we do everything we can to make each life easier, and we do it well.
I have to say the one thing that I'm most grateful for is everyone's health. We were managed to keep all of our staff without COVID, our clients all without COVID, so that's just a blessing in itself to not have lost any clients or staff due to the pandemic.
Well, I'm grateful for my other coworkers, my associates, that we really, you know, work together as a team. And I'm just grateful for everybody in here.
Grateful to be able to use, all my years of experience in order to give back to the medical community in this type of way. It's like a conglomeration of all my years of experience. There's a variety of different issues that are going on here medically with residents, so that's been a great satisfaction for me to be able to do that.
The understanding of this company, the understanding that life happens and they meet us at our level. You know, they understand that kid might have to quarantine for 14 days. They understand that sickness happens. They just the understanding of this company and the ability for the flexibility that this company has with its associates is something that I've never experienced.
I'm grateful for just being around people, especially senior citizens. I was blessed to have my mom and dad here, and I lost my mom and dad 5 months apart in 2018. And I think that's where I got my calling. And being here at Pittman, that's my blessing, is I'm blessed to be here. And I'm blessed to have everybody that around me and giving me love, and me giving love back.
What an amazing group of people. You can see why United Methodist Communities was just named a great place to work for the 4th consecutive year in a row. So proud of all of those folks who took time to let us know how the last 18 months has been, because it hasn't been easy, but they really opened up and we deeply appreciate it. I'm not the only one who appreciates it. We've received many shout outs from family members and friends, and I'm going to take you on a ride as some of these folks who have said great things. The family of AL resident Clea Zimmerman says, a big thank you to the Pittman UMC staff, including nursing, activities, wellness, volunteers, dietary, housekeeping, maintenance, and front office. We are grateful for all you do. Tracy Bartlett says, God bless the wonderful staff and incredible residents of Pittman and throughout UMC communities. UMC Collingswood resident Virginia Smith says, thank you. Just doesn't seem like enough, but thank you for all you've done and continue to do. It is very much appreciated. The family of Solon Lee recognizes and thanks the wonderful Shore staff supporting Tapestries 2. We are grateful for the exceptional care provided. Thank you. Christina Myers of UMC Pittman. We want to honor her. This is coming from Gail Ziegler. She says, Christina handles innumerable tasks at the front desk with efficiency and a smile. Flossie Stabe thanks Don for playing the piano and leading us in singing. Susan and Robert Nichols say thanks to the Collingswood staff for their sincere dedication and care of our mother. This comes from the family of Anna Bradford. Wishes everyone good health. Joseph and Kathy Palermo say thanks to the great staff at the Shores. Josephine Greshko and family say there is so much to be thankful for, the great care from the staff, the companionship, friendships made, the entertainment, special events, and lovely facility. Leo and Mary Casper say, to all Pittman administrators and employees, thank you for the wonderful care you give our beautiful mom, Rose. We are grateful. God bless you. From Sandy Shoemaker Scott, she said thank you to Courtney McLaughlin and staff, our superheroes. From Rebecca Rowe, shout out to Pastor Kim Wecht, Michelle Musto, Jackie Santanasto, and Mary Maloney for always being willing to lend a hand. We appreciate you. Michelle Bookbauer says, thank you to the caring staff of Bristol Glen. Mom's turning 105. And Mr. Ed Patzer would like to thank the UMC at Collingswood staff for all their care and support. And here's 4 special ones. Kalila says, Donna Davis is the best great-grand Mimi in the world. Donna and David say, Donna Davis is the best mom ever. Chris and Sarah say, Donna Davis wins the award for best Mimi ever. And Ashley and Kazim love their Mimi, Donna Davis, to the moon and back. And during our show, we've received more pledges. Thank you to Kelsey and Paul Reardon. Thank you to John Engelstad, who says, keep up the great work, UMC team. Thank you to Will and Mary Claire Featherman. And Margaret McCloskey says, thanks to all the staff who helped make this a wonderful place to be. As we mentioned earlier, we also have a number of business sponsors who have, again, remembered us in their philanthropic plans. We want to take some time now to list them. Let's start with our platinum level sponsors. Thank you to Lockton Companies and to Sodexo Senior Services. Our diamond level sponsors, PNC Healthcare, CIBC Private Wealth Management, Direct Supply, and Data Pro. Our emerald level sponsors, Perkins Eastman, Goldfine and Joseph, Virtue Sense Technologies, Herbert J. Sims, the MERS Group, Connection, the Ultimate Kronos Group, Win Marketing, Esposito Kiker and Associates, McCarter and English, and Alex Clark Investigative Services. And our Ruby level sponsors, Initial Impact, Provident Bank, Copy Products, and Holman Auto. We have one more sponsor you're going to hear about later, but first we want to talk about another special group in the UMC family. You know, there are certain titles you have, son, daughter. These titles never go away. Mom and dads are always on your mind, and you gain a real sense of peace and well-being knowing that they are safe and provided for. Many families of our communities, not just for us, but communities across the country, were rightly concerned as they were hit very hard by the coronavirus outbreaks. United Methodist Communities took immediate and difficult actions to ensure the safety of our residents. These actions, as mandated by the state, took a toll on our family members, as it prevented them from seeing, hugging, and even holding hands with their loved ones. Now, looking back, our family members use words like love, family, grateful when describing how our communities protected and took care of their loved ones. Let's hear from a few.
The last year and a half has been very difficult with this facility having COVID.
Well, the last 16 months have been, like everybody else in this world, very challenging. It was very comforting for us to know that my father was here and in a good situation and had some friends and was able to, even though he wasn't able to, go out or go shopping or whatever, he at least had some community.
It's been very different. At the very beginning, it was hard because we weren't allowed to come in at all. But I'm so grateful that Pittman established the Essential Caregivers program because my mom is blind, and even though she gets good care here, there's a lot of things that I would do for her when I would come to visit. So I was able to become an essential caregiver, which means I could come at least once a week. Now it's twice a week. And that helped emotionally for both of us. It helped her physically. So that was really, really helpful. And I've been able to continue with that. So I'm very pleased that the Essential Caregiver program was established.
I feel as if the people that are here at Bristol Glen, the staff, Jeff Lisk, they've done everything possible to make the situation the best that it could possibly be. He had meetings twice a week, Zoom meetings, different times, Tuesdays, Thursdays, then had some twice a day. We were very well informed with everything going on.
We actually had several family conferences, all 8 kids, really discussing, some in tears, some not, about whether we should leave my mom here or should we try to figure out some other arrangement. Should she come live with one of us? And so we all agonized over it, we prayed over it, we had another call, and ultimately what we said was we believed in our hearts that she was in the safest place.
They offered Zoom meetings, they offered things online so that you can make contact with them, which helped a lot. So we were able to set up our own family Zoom meetings with her so that we could all take advantage of talking to her through the computer, and she very much was amazed at that and enjoyed that. So we did feel we were keeping in touch with her. You know, we did do the visits in the beginning where we just stood out in the parking lot and talked to her on the phone through the window. And then when they still weren't allowed in, they would go out on the porch right outside of this room, and you could stand on the pavement and talk to them, you know, because you weren't violating the space guidelines. And they let you know what you could do and what you could not do to keep everybody safe. And that's what we felt. They were doing everything to keep the residents safe in the process.
Like I said, they had 2 parades in the very beginning, which was very helpful. And just the fact that I know she's safe in that environment and the staff is willing to help them in any way they can.
I felt wonderful about the staff the very first time we came. We met with Alice in marketing, who was so friendly, so helpful. She remembers our names. My sister was visiting with me because we wanted to make a decision together for Mom. And she came from Texas. And to this day, 11 years later, Alice will say, "How's your sister Trish?" So right from the start, we felt very welcomed.
It was nice that I had knowledge of the staff here. And so as he moved over to the assisted care, it was helpful. And I know that they did the very best they could. And they went out of their way to make sure that we had some sort of Christmas together, even though we couldn't get together. I think it was Dave that arranged it, and we were able to see him. I was able to put a Zoom together with family across. So it was hard, but at least we could see him and he had a chance to see us. So considering the circumstances in the world today, they've done an exceptional job with what they've been given, what we're having to live with.
Right.
I honestly cannot say enough about the staff here. I talked to my brother this morning about me coming here, and we feel as if the people here, 100% since my mom has been here. My mom is going on 105. She came here when she was 95. And I cannot say there has been one time when I've thought, oh boy, why is this person working here with these elderly people? They are well trained to deal with all the problems. They are kind, they are caring. I pop in all different times. They call me when there's an incident or a situation they feel I need to be informed about. I just think they're absolutely wonderful. However they decide who to hire, they pick the best.
The staff here, I've actually become they're very supportive. There are a couple of them that I just feel so comfortable in asking a question, even if it's silly, whether it's Maria in social work or Carol up on AL3. I know that they're there for me, to support me, as well as supporting my father, and I feel very comfortable. I couldn't do it without Trish at the front desk. If I have a question, she's amazing. You can't replace this woman.
Pittman helped her. She's lived here 11 years. We didn't think she'd make it a year, but my sister and I chose it, and then she came up and she felt very comfortable from the first because it was a Christian home.
Many times, 2 days ago, I was in the room and one of the nurses came and sat and chatted with us for a few minutes. Finally, my mom said, "Oh, you're probably busy, Patty. You should probably," and she was just so kind and talking about life in general, not medical things, just, my mom's life. Or they'll come in and they'll look at a picture of my dad or her great-grandchildren and they'll say, "Oh, tell me about that person," or, "How's your great-grandson doing in college?" So just wonderful, caring, kind people. Cannot say enough about how wonderful they are.
I'm grateful that he's adjusted. I'm grateful that he was here during COVID. I'm grateful for the staff here. It just made our life easier because we knew he was being cared for.
I am grateful for the staff because if it wasn't for them, I don't know if I could have got through this without being able to see my mother one-on-one.
Well, I guess number one would be the fact that when I leave here and my brother leaves and my mom's other visitors that have come over the years, we always feel as if she's in good hands, that she's well taken care of. It's not like we leave and have to worry about something happening to her or her not getting the help that she needs or the care. So that's what I'm most grateful for.
It's really just thank you for being here. Thank you for helping.
Bristol Glen is a place where my mom has been now for almost 10 years, and a place where I know she's cared for, I know she's loved by the staff, and I never worry when I'm not with her that she's not being well taken care of.
I'm grateful that there's some place that will care for Mom because I could not do it at home. So it's wonderful to know she's in a place that is a nice place to be. She's grateful to be here because I say that it's a Christian home. She tells me every day, I'm so glad I'm in a good place.
I want to thank all those family members who sat down with us at the communities and shared their thoughts. It was incredibly inspiring, and we appreciate everything that you said. We want to take some time now to highlight another of our two special and very generous strategic partners. Marty Rossica and Hawks & Company have been longtime partners with United Methodist Communities and have supported the efforts of the foundation for over 13 years. Their financial support of the foundation over those years is significant. They don't just work the heating, air conditioning, and ventilation systems of our communities, but their employees have an incredible level of respect, admiration, and camaraderie with our residents. Here's Marty and Hawks & Company.
Hi, I'm Marty Roskitt. I'm the president of Hawks & Company. I've been here for 16 years, and we're primarily a commercial heating and air conditioning and refrigeration firm, specializing in the service in the senior living industry, and we're located in Deptford, New Jersey. Yeah, I think it's our philosophy to partner with not only our customers but our neighbors and what we do. So we like to engage in what their endeavors are and what their charities are and how they. We want to help them. So it's not just fixing air conditioning and heating. It's all about becoming stewards for them to help them in their cause as well. And I think that has helped us build relationships over the years, become stronger, and become that trusted advisor role that I like to play with them. Yeah, you know, it's interesting. It has morphed into a Marty relationship to a technician and company embracing relationships. So our technicians have built relationships with your residents, have built relationships with your executive directors and your kitchen staff, and it's wonderful to see the interaction and the camaraderie that exists between everyone when we're on site. Look, we have a common goal. We want to make sure we do the best on behalf of the residents of the homes. And you know, it's easy for me to say that, but when the entire company embraces that mantra, I think it becomes it becomes family, and it becomes almost as if we're an extension of you as an organization, and it's fun to watch.
When I work in someone's home like the Shores, I feel that it's my home. I'm able to concentrate more on doing everything right, neat and clean, and taking care of the problem so that the residents are comfortable. Being able to be part of that has helped me grow in my maturity with life itself. Every time they send me here, I'm happy. I have a lot of friends in here, people that I've seen for quite a few years. So it does give me something to look forward to. It's better than an office job.
We're people first here. It's not a what you do, it's who you are. So we like to hire the person first and the culture that they bring with them. We take care of each other. We know that everyone will take care of our clients.
There's one more business partner we'd like to thank, and that is Carl Young and his group of video wizards at Image Revolver in Philadelphia. What you're watching right now could not have taken place without their incredible support and knowledge. They're a great team to work with, and we cannot thank them enough. Finally, there are many at all of our communities that give in a different way. They give of their time and talents as volunteers. Our program would not be complete without hearing from one of our amazing volunteers with quite a unique perspective. Kathleen Crockford first served as our volunteer at our community in Ocean City when she was 13 years old, and she still feels a special connection with her volunteer work today. Here's Kathleen.
A lot of what I did in my career as a pastor, the seeds were planted here. And so I see that in some ways volunteering here gives people a different opportunity to see what's inside them. And so coming back home and being tapped again, like a call from Michelle to begin seeing if I wanted to do something here, it made the most sense to me. What they mean to me is priceless, because what I experience from the wisdom that they have in the way that they share with me their life experience, it's hard to put into words. It's been hard because my weekly contact with the people here pre-pandemic was something that I looked forward to, and it was part of my schedule and routine. And then when it was just completely shut down, I knew that life continued here, hopefully in the safest and most careful way. So I knew that there was a lot going on, and so my daily prayers were to continue keeping the people here, the associates, the staff, the residents in my prayers, so that safety would be and abundant life would be part of the ministry that would continue here. I would encourage people to get in touch with what they know they love to do and find a way to share that with the people here, because you're also going to be fed by the fact that the people living here, the residents at the shores and other places in United Methodist communities, bring a wealth of experience in their own lives that then will be able to enhance your life. I just know that this place, well, in Celtic spirituality, there's a concept of thin places. And to me, the shores is one of those places where the spirit of creation and God and the reality of the world meet. And I see that in a lot of the places in the United Methodist communities around this state. I would consider them thin places.
Did you hear what Kathleen said? She described our communities as thin places. I had never heard that term before, so I Googled it. It turns out that thin places are places where the difference between where you are and heaven is narrower. What an amazing compliment to our communities, to our residents, to our staff. Thank you so much, Kathleen, for those words. Here are our thin places. It's been an honor to talk to you tonight. It's been an honor to thank all of our donors. Thank you, and thank you for your support of the United Methodist Communities Foundation.